Alright. This time we should be able... Hopefully we'll be able to finish this trial now. December 30th. 2:17 p.m. I can't believe it! Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is! And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? but I'm nothing but a little nobody, you know? Oh, is he slipping back into country bumpkin mode? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why... Hey, pal! Oh, hey, Dick. You gonna ignore me after I went all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Well, if you insist. Now, how about that evidence you mentioned? What is it? Here you go. Oh, that handkerchief we got. This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything, but everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know, Miss Von Karma doesn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set in motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me, I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing's ever truly decided till the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What do you mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It's all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Oh, okay, Columbo. Don't scare me like that. Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. More milk? Jesus Christ. The reception area looks like some kind of diary. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. Or dairy, he meant. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Oh, jeez. You and your milk. Court is now back in session. Ms. Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. What does that mean? When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Well, of course we'll cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. Okay. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. The master took us in. I wanted to find a way to repay him. That was my sole purpose. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! Oh, come on! No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with him. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. What do you think, Nick? I don't know. I think the more I cross-examine him, the worse I end up looking in the end. I mean, I get the feeling this cross-examination was a trap. Yeah, Von Karma set you up again. Is it now? That scarf, stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. Started off as an acrobat that early in age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. Really? That's the That's the name you went for? It's nearly a household name, obviously. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is, I want to be of some use to the circus. You're truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Sole purpose in life. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. How long have you been a performer? We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Oh, and then Francie brings him down. No crying in court, let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. We're gonna have to show something, aren't we? Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? No, actually, I can't, because because at this point, I know. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ah! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish! Did you forget? You made an accusation against this fitness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster? Yes. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro. You didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? No. No, he wasn't the target. And I know who was. The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying the target of that witness's murder plot wasn't the Ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Oh, here we go. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Thank you, Francie. Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Yup. Regina was the target. Take that! Regina Berry? This young girl's the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? Don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited, leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh? Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to... The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro is out to kill this young girl. Ooh, there's a few things we could possibly present. I'm pretty sure it's this, though. Alright, Mr. Wright. At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence. This better not be a bluff. You're not going to... Ow. Oh, no. There it is. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper we found in the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. Yep. He was going to call Regina there, but then she put it up on the bulletin board, and Russell took it, and he went there instead. So you're saying he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place the note in someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours... It's the truth, Your Honor. This isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, I mean the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible! Remember the testimony Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I ended up falling out the window myself. Yeah. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived at the plaza. Because he couldn't look down out his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down the plaza. And that's when he let the bus fly. Hey, Nick, isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? Yeah, she is, and I think... And Mo wanted her to hear this. She is. Unfortunately, it's only gonna get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. Yeah, and I think it's coming together as to what that's about. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that's alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron! Wait, are you sure it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case had its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is gonna think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence. It's gotta be this, isn't it?
Take that!
What? This is it? Well, I can't... Oh, are you fucking serious? That's not it? You can't be serious. No matter what, I can't mess up again. Is it the scarf?
Take that!
Oh my god. Then what is... It wasn't either of these. It was this. That was in the box. That was what was in the box that was put in front. Oh. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Objection!
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, answer this question. Oh boy. What are we getting into now? Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Oh. She didn't... I don't think she had an intended victim, but...
Take that!
Who is this? That's Acro's younger brother.
Objection!
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead? Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Not intentionally, but indirectly, it's coming together how that happened. Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Ms. Regina Berry is an animal trainer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. Yeah, that's what I'm with her on this one, actually. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? Yes, I actually believe it. I suppose it was truly an accident. It's essential that a man knows when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's impossible to prove Mr. Berry's involvement in a murder attempt, isn't it? Instigating a lion to attack. Who ever heard of something like that? And to think the defense claimed this was conclusive evidence. Small bottle of pepper, a lion. What's their connection? Oh! What's the matter, Nick? I figured it out! It was right in front of my nose the entire time! Your Honor, wait. What is it? The lion-biting bat was no accident at all. What? You are such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina's responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother. Oh dear, we have... Okay, now it had the pepper on it, which made the lion sneeze, which was what caused him to bite down.
Take that!
That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who's the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Because I think it was mentioned that the two would prank each other with Pepper. And that was what caused it. Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There's something more than just blood on the scarf here on it. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. What's with the silent treatment? And the bird pecking at his face again. I love it. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. I think Francie knows. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Yes, it was. By 2 accounts. Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion, for a moment the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lion sneeze. Yep. What? Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. Yep. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What? You fool! You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Ms. Von Karma? I object for objection's sake. Really, is that a thing? Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. I have a feeling they're gonna throw something else at us, though. We're not done yet. To think there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro. You don't mean, you can't mean. Witness! Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright. Unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your story. What would that problem be? The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be more precise. The murder weapon? The bust the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it were covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you gotta do something! This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Request to see how things work out. Request to search Acro's room. The defense requests to search the room of the witness, Ken Dingling. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must know the meaning of Von Karma total justice. You mean... Did she already search it? A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. So it's still missing. So you see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin. But what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that's relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust. Where is it now? Where is the bust right now? I do know where it is. You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Oh shit. It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness. Is that... Oh! Huh? Huh? What? Maya? Where is Max's bust? Oh. Yeah, I know that's the first thing on your mind. The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I just bit my tongue. Huh? Need time to... Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What, are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Well, thanks, Maya. Wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now's the time for us to walk our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Very well, the defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. There is Max's bus now. I do know. It's in the courtroom. It's obvious the bus is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bus once and for all. Acro. I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Aha! Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Ms. Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. Is that a... Oh, Francie's pissed. You fool! How could you... You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Ms. Franziska Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you execute your search, all you could do is try and hide the bust. And the only place I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, You had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now, to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. Yeah, she seems more flustered than anything. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it! Me make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that! Are you really more concerned with... You really are more concerned with the verdict? It seems you finally arrived at the truth. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I am responsible for that crime. So he's admitting it. Acro. But again, I think we established he wasn't the target, was he? All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he teased her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. So are you saying you are a victim of all this as well? No, that's not what I mean. Aww. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. Aw, goddamn. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Damn. This has been such a strange case. You're telling me. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot. Okay, don't get down on yourself too hard, Francie. I can't believe it. You beat me again. Is that all she's concerned about? I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. court's adjourned. Oh, okay, we did it, though. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only a max. 1 million of them. Hey Mo, thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? Oh, Regina. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I think it got to her, too. She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault! Sweetie pie. Bad and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina? Mr. Wright, tell me something. Oh, what do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro... Is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure I can believe that? Yeah. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, I want to see some evidence. I want to know you're not just making that stuff up about Acro not wanting revenge. Oh. I kind of want to show her...
Take that!
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then he can meet Acro again. So sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max! What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So, whenever you like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? Oh, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided I'll take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn the circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen. Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. Aw, don't say... What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think I brought you to court today? We gotta work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. No. Most right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. Max. Alright, you guys. Nick. Seems like everything's gonna turn out alright here. I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats! It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats. Okay. Huh? Oh, what's with the ominous music? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You said you had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. What? You mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, Detective, my plane's about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you don't need to worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Oh, edgy! I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. He is alive. All right, guys, that concludes this trial. I think this is a good time to I guess we'll call it a stream here, and we'll continue with more of this later. I'll see you guys. Have a good night.